BMI, Body Mass Index. You know that number, right? It's on our doctor's forms, it's in online calculators. It's supposed to be a quick score for our health. But what if I told you that simple health score might be, well, lying to you?
Yeah, you've definitely seen the number. But do you know the story behind it? Because it's not just a simple calculation. Oh no, it's got this whole complex history, some pretty big flaws, and a paradox that messes with how millions of us think about our health every single day.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. Just to make sure we're all on the same page here. What is BMI, really? What's it supposed to do?
Okay, so at its heart, BMI is just a super simple formula. You take your weight in kilograms, you divide it by your height in meters squared, and boom, it spits out a number. That's it. It's been the go-to quick and dirty tool since the 80s to get a rough guess of your body fat.
And that one little number slots you neatly into one of these boxes from the World Health Organization. You're either underweight, normal, overweight, or in one of the obesity classes. Seems pretty straightforward, right? A clear verdict on your health. But, and this is a big but, it's really not that simple at all. And this is where things start to get complicated. This is where the whole system can fall apart. Because for a lot of people, that simple score doesn't just get it a little wrong, it gets the story of their health completely, totally wrong. Okay, so here it is, the big fundamental flaw. BMI can't tell the difference between muscle and fat. It's like a scale that's blind. A pound of super dense muscle weighs the exact same as a pound of fluffy fat, right? But to the BMI formula, they're identical. And that one little problem, well, that's where all the trouble starts.
I mean, look at how this plays out in the real world. It's kind of crazy. You've got a professional bodybuilder, ripped, with a BMI of 32. The chart says they're obese, even though they have like 5% body fat. Then you've got a sedentary office worker with a normal BMI of 24 who might actually have an unhealthy 30% body fat. See? The number just doesn't tell the whole story.
And don't think this is just some weird edge case for elite athletes. It's not. As Dr. Michael Chen says, BMI works pretty well for maybe 80% of people. But that other 20%? That's 1 in 5 of us. And the scariest part is, most of those people have no clue they're in that group, getting the wrong signal about their health.
So this leads to the big question, the paradox at the heart of all this. If BMI is so wonky for individuals, why on earth is it still used everywhere? Why do doctors and huge health organizations still lean on it so much? Well, the answer is, the stakes are just incredibly high. And here's the twist. For one person, you or me, BMI can be a blunt, clumsy instrument, but when you zoom out and look at populations, we're talking millions of people, it suddenly becomes this incredibly powerful tool for predicting major health risks. It spots these huge, scary trends. Let's take the biggest one first, heart health. The research here is overwhelming. For decades, study after study has shown this crystal clear link between a population's average BMI and its risk for heart disease. And the numbers, wow, they're just staggering. We're talking about a 104% increased risk of death from cardiovascular disease for someone with severe obesity. Let that sink in. That's not a 4% increase. It's 104. You're literally doubling your risk compared to someone in a lower BMI category. That is a massive, massive signal.
Okay, but if you thought that was dramatic, wait till you see the connection to type 2 diabetes. It's so strong, so direct, that many experts basically say high BMI is the main engine driving the whole diabetes epidemic.
All right, brace yourself for this next number. It's almost hard to believe. A person with a BMI of 35 or more has a 38.8 times higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. No, that is not a typo. Nearly 40 times the risk. When a simple number can predict something that powerfully, you can see why public health officials just can't afford to ignore it.
Okay, so we've established BMI is messy for one person, but useful for big groups. But wait, there's more. The story gets even more complicated because it turns out that standard chart we all see, it's not really a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Think about it. Our bodies change as we get older, right? We tend to lose a bit of muscle, gain a little fat. It's natural. So a normal BMI for a 20-year-old isn't the same as a normal BMI for a 65-year-old. In fact, for older folks, being a little bit heavier on the scale can actually be a good thing, protecting them from becoming frail. And it's not just about age. Here's another huge factor, ethnicity.
The original BMI chart was based mostly on data from white populations, but we now know that different groups have different body compositions. For example, people of Asian descent can face serious health risks at a lower BMI than the standard chart suggests, and people from the Pacific Islands might naturally have more muscle mass, so their healthy range is totally different. The single chart just doesn't work for everyone.
So, okay, we've got all these problems, all these complexities. What are we supposed to do with this information? Just throw BMI in the trash? Well, not exactly. The answer is to stop thinking of it as the answer and start seeing it as just one tool in a much bigger, smarter health toolkit.
The whole key is a shift in perspective. Think of BMI as a smoke detector. It gives you a loud, simple signal that something might be wrong, but it can't tell you if it's a burnt piece of toast or a real fire. For that, you need a better tool, a diagnostic tool, like body fat percentage, which actually looks at how much fat you have versus muscle.
So the real goal here is to build a complete picture of your health. You need more than just one tool. You've got things like waist circumference, which is a great indicator of dangerous belly fat. You've got blood work to see what's happening on the inside. And you've got actual fitness tests to see what your body can do. When you put all of that together, now you're getting a real story, a much more meaningful story than BMI could ever tell you on its own.
So if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. BMI is a starting point. It's not a final verdict. It's the beginning of a conversation with your doctor, not the end of it. It's a signpost, not the destination.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. Now that you know a single number can't tell you the whole story, what are you going to measure? What's the more complete picture of your health going to look like?